Ever swiped left and thought dating is the worst? Well, hold on. Because what if I told you that 2,000 years ago, people were basically using Tinder, but instead of an app, it was a professional network of old ladies who knew everyone's business? Welcome to the wild, weird, and frankly insane world of ancient dating. Forget swiping right. We're talking about professional matchmakers, wild festivals, and literal gladiatorial contests for love. Let's start in ancient China. If you were looking for a partner, you wouldn't be writing a bio. You'd be hoping a Meiren took your case. These women were the original human algorithms. They didn't just know who was single. They had mental databases stretching back generations. They knew your family's reputation, your exact birth time for astrological compatibility, the ancient equivalent of checking star signs, and, of course, how much money your family had. They'd conduct intense background checks, interviewing neighbors and servants. The craziest part, the potential couple never even met. The Meiren was the sole communication channel, like a very, very involved dating app moderator. During the Tang Dynasty, some even kept written records and illustrations of their clients, the first profile databases. Meanwhile, in ancient Rome, things were a bit more social. Sure, they had pronubi, or marriage brokers, who would negotiate dowries and check citizenship status. But the real action happened at the bathhouse. The Roman thermae weren't just for getting clean, they were the ultimate social network. Imagine a luxury complex with gyms, gardens, libraries, and food vendors. You'd go to the gym or palestra to show off your physique, then stroll through the gardens hoping to catch someone's eye. People would dress up, put on perfume, and essentially present their real-life profile. We've even found graffiti in Pompeii that's basically ancient personal ads, with people bragging about their attributes on the walls. It was the original shooting your shot, and it wasn't just the Romans. The Greek agora, or marketplace, was another hot spot. While men were at the gymnasium exercising in the nude, talk about a profile picture, women would gather at public fountain houses. These were rare moments where people from different families could actually see each other. Young people could be discovered while running errands, much like a rom-com meet cute. But what if you wanted a little more excitement? A little less background check and a little more chaos? Welcome to the Roman festival of Lupercalia. Held every February, this fertility festival had a shocking matchmaking element. The names of available young women were placed in an urn, and men would draw a name at random. That's it. You were paired with that person for the entire festival. It was a sanctioned blind date lottery that could, and often did, lead to marriage. It was a temporary escape from parental control, a completely random pairing, kind of like hitting the surprise me button on a dating app. For women who wanted more control, there was the ancient Indian Swayamvara. This was reserved for royalty and was basically the ancient world's version of the Bachelorette. A princess would hold a massive ceremony where suitors from all over would gather to compete. They'd face off in archery, combat, or tests of intelligence. At the end, she, the woman, would choose her husband by placing a garland around his neck. It was a spectacular display of female agency, a competitive reality show where the prize was a royal marriage, and she had the final say. Of course, not everyone had the luxury of a Swayamvara. For most, family was everything. In Jewish communities, the shotgun was a respected matchmaker deeply embedded in the community. They knew everyone's lineage, religious devotion, and financial status without even having to ask. They would arrange a supervised meeting, a BSOC, and after that, both parties could say yes or no. This often led to a series of meetings with different people, a serial dating pattern that feels surprisingly modern. Even the way people communicated feels familiar. Direct contact was often forbidden, so love letters and poetry became incredibly important. In ancient Egypt, lovers scribbled poems on pieces of pottery. In Rome, the poet Ovid literally wrote a dating manual called The Art of Love, advising men on how to meet women at the theater or chariot races. People also used subtle visual signals. A Roman woman might accidentally drop her handkerchief. In China, a young woman might let an embroidered purse fall where an eligible bachelor could find it. It was all about creating an opportunity for a connection in a world full of rules. But perhaps the most surprisingly modern system was the social calendar of the Roman elite. They had a structured circuit. The morning was for visiting patrons, the afternoon for the baths, and the evening for exclusive dinner parties with carefully curated guest lists. You'd see the same eligible people over and over again in different highly structured settings. It was an exclusive, location-based social network, not unlike how dating apps today keep showing you the same people in your area and social demographic. So, while we see these ancient practices as strange, they share so much with our modern quest for love. They filtered by criteria, whether it was family lineage or income level. They presented curated profiles, whether through a matchmaker's description or a public appearance at a festival. They used intermediaries, from a trusted community elder to a random lottery. The fundamental human need to find a partner, to filter through the options, and to present our best selves hasn't changed at all. The technology has just gone from a clay urn and a professional matchmaker to a supercomputer in our pocket. So next time you're swiping, just remember, you're part of a tradition that's thousands of years old, and honestly, it's always been a little bit insane. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this dive into ancient history fascinating, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep explorations into the past. Also, please do well to check out our other videos for more fascinating stories from our shared history as humans. Let me know in the comments which ancient dating system you think is the wildest. See you next time.